The soul walks further than the feet can fall, and we know this truth long before we can speak it. We feel it as children when the horizon calls to us from beyond the orchard wall, when the brook babbles secrets we do not yet have the courage to repeat, when the wind becomes the confidant of our earliest longing. Even then, before duty sets its yoke upon our shoulders, we sense that life is larger than our small motions, and that some hidden traveler within us journeys farther, higher, deeper than any outward stride could ever suggest. Imagine a man standing at the edge of a meadow at dawn, the world still wet with dew. He has not yet stepped forward, and yet his heart has already crossed the field, climbed the hill, and contemplated the sun. Or consider the wanderer at sea, whose vessel lies anchored in the bay, while his spirit roams the vast immensity beyond the horizon, unmoored by the limits of rope or timber. The body stands still, the soul departs. And so begins the great paradox of human life, that we are forever living two journeys, one traced in dust, the other inscribed in light, one measurable by the miles beneath our souls, the other by the vast expansions within our consciousness. Does a bird ask its wings how far they can fly? Or does it simply surrender to the boundless instinct that moves it? The soul is that instinct, the unbounded part of us, the portion that refuses to measure itself by the length of the road or the height of the mountain. It strides according to another law, and that law is freedom. Freedom not merely to wander the earth, but to wander the inner realms, to cross thresholds of understanding, to inhabit moments of revelation, to claim insights that the senses cannot grasp. And yet, here we stand, so often confining ourselves to the narrow circle of our chores and fears. We weigh our possibilities by habit, by memory, by the discouraging counsel of those who have chosen the safe path. We forget that a single brave thought can travel further than a lifetime of timid footsteps. We forget that the boldest pilgrim is not the one who crosses continents, but the one who crosses the frontier of his own reluctance. Tell me, my friend, have you not felt this inward traveler stirring within you? Have you not sensed, even in your most ordinary hour, a widening of the inner sky, a pressure against the old boundaries, a sudden knowing that you are meant for something larger, finer, truer than the life you have carefully arranged for yourself? The soul whispers these urgencies long before we heed them. It is the quiet guide urging us to rise from the comfortable seat, to leave the familiar lane, to wander into the realm where destiny ceases to be a word and becomes a breath. And though the feet may resist, the soul walks on, leaving us no peace until we follow. For the soul does not consult the terrain, it does not count the cost. It moves by the secret arithmetic of truth, drawing us into experiences that refine us, humbling us when we cling to false certainties, elevating us when we surrender to the deeper current. And thus, life becomes not the story of where we walked, but of what walked within us. The true pilgrimage is inward. The outer road merely echoes the footsteps of the unseen traveler who leads the way. But if the soul walks beyond the reach of physical steps, it also walks beyond the reach of the ego, beyond fear, beyond vanity, beyond all the small engines of control we attempt to impose upon our days. We fool ourselves by believing we are the architects of our destinies, the captains of our hours, yet the soul laughs softly at this presumption. It knows that the grand movements of life do not bend to our anxious designs, but unfold according to a deeper rhythm, one that pulses in the quiet hours when we cease insisting that we know best. When have your greatest revelations arrived? Not in the fevered moments when you clutched at life with clenched fists, but in the spacious silences at dawn, perhaps, or under an evening sky, or in a moment of honest grief, when your defenses dissolved and you could at last hear the voice beneath the noise. The soul is most audible when the ego has exhausted itself. And so it leads us into experiences that dismantle our illusions of control, the loss that humbles our pride, the unexpected joy that breaks our cynicism, the encounter that reveals our buried tenderness. You may think you have chosen your path, but more often the path has chosen you, and the soul, walking far ahead, has already woven the meaning into it. We are brought again and again to the brink of transformation, where the familiar self shivers before a new frontier of awareness. Do we step forward? Do we retreat? The feet hesitate. They have learned caution from the world. But the soul is bold. It urges us toward the untried, the unspoken, the undiscovered country of our own depths. And though we shrink from the unknown is precisely where the soul makes its home. In its wisdom, refuses to let us stagnate. It sends storms to loosen our rigidities, blessings to expand our gratitude, mysteries to awaken our awe. The soul navigates these with a grace the mind cannot comprehend. It sees the hidden order where we see only chaos, feels the coming dawn where we notice only the lingering darkness. Even in our greatest confusions, the soul walks steadily onward, understanding that growth demands discomfort, and that discomfort is but the outer rind of transformation. Ask yourself, when you look back upon your life, which moments shaped you most? Were they the easy ones, polished and predictable? Or were they the ones that broke you open, the ones that forced you to relinquish old beliefs, the ones that demanded you surrender the false self you had mistaken for your identity? The soul leads us to these thresholds with unwavering loyalty. It is not interested in our comfort, it is committed to our awakening. And so, life becomes a series of invitations, each requiring trust, each requiring courage, each drawing us further into the spacious truth of who we are. The feet may tremble at the precipice, but the soul has already crossed it, urging us with silent assurance. Do not fear. What you seek is seeking you. Thus, the greatest task of our existence is not to push harder, nor to strive endlessly for some distant reward, but to listen to cultivate the inner stillness in which the soul's footsteps become audible. When we listen deeply, something within us relaxes, softens, opens. We discover that life is not a ladder to climb, but a depth to inhabit. We find that joy is not earned, but revealed, like sunlight dissolving the morning mist. We learn that wisdom is not a trophy, but a fragrance that rises from our honest presence. And in this listening, a profound shift takes place. We cease trying to direct the soul and begin allowing the soul to direct us. The traveler within leads us toward authenticity, toward a life less governed by appearance and more aligned with essence. It teaches us to trust our intuition, that subtle compass, far more accurate than the loud opinions of the world. It coaxes us to speak truth when silence would be easier, to act with integrity even when convenience beckons, to choose freedom over conformity, depth over distraction, courage over comfort. And gradually, as we follow its lead, we find ourselves living with a purity of intention that no external achievement could ever bestow. Life becomes not a performance, but a communion. We recognize that every person we meet carries a soul walking ahead of them as well, each on their own inward pilgrimage, each wrestling with unseen angels, each yearning to bridge the distance between the life they live and the life that calls to them. Compassion grows naturally from this understanding. Judgment dissolves. We see the world not as a battlefield of competing wills, but as a vast sanctuary of becoming. And as this awareness deepens, something extraordinary happens. The distance between the soul and the feet begins to narrow. We find that our outer actions align with our inner knowing. Our days reflect our truth. Our choices echo our deepest intuition. The feet, once hesitant, become faithful companions to the soul's hidden strides. And this harmony, this union of inner and outer, becomes the quiet revolution of a life awakened. For in the end, the soul walks toward one destination only, a greater, fuller, more luminous expression of our true nature. And when we walk with it, not behind it, we discover a peace the world cannot give and a freedom it cannot take away. So let the soul continue its tireless pilgrimage. Let it wander into realms the feet have not yet dared to explore. Let it lead you beyond fear, beyond imitation, beyond the habitual confines of your own history. For the journey is not measured in miles, but in awakenings. And the road, once invisible, becomes clear the moment you choose to follow. And when at last the feet stand where the soul has long danced, you will know not by argument, but by the quiet certainty of lived truth that the horizon you sought was never outside you. It was the unfolding of your own boundless nature, waiting only for your consent to bloom.